Hello, Carrots here. Welcome to part 14 of the 30 grandchildren badge attempt. In the last episode, we left off with Brian. There he is. He's cooking. We're trying to give him a few skills and some lifetime happiness before we move him out to his own little house. He, of course, is the imaginary friend of Javon, made real. His original name was Bobo. I've decided in this game I'm going to make all of the imaginary friends real and give them complete makeovers so they don't retain any of the original appearance. Of course, being an imaginary friend, they do have doll form as well as sim form, but it's the sim form that I change when I take them into Stylist or create a sim. He's doing a bit of collecting too. That's Joni standing outside looking, oh, what's those gnomes doing? They just bounced across the lawn. We had a couple of Sims age up in the last episode. That was Lynette and Felicia, and now they have to graduate. So the whole household is heading outside to attend their graduation ceremony. Everybody gets done up in their best gear and the children and teens get off school. There's no children left in this household. They're all teens except for the few that have become young adults. Gradually they'll all become young adults, and as they marry they will move out to their own homes and start having babies, which will be the grandchildren. And once we get to 30 of those brand new babies from the young adults that grew up in this household, we should hopefully get the badge, but I don't really think it'll happen. Oh, there's a teenage gnome just hovering in the middle of the air there. That mysterious Mr. Gnome ages. He's got toddler form, child form, teenage form, and then the young adult or adult form, and then the elder form. And when he's been an elder for long enough, he just leaves a tombstone in the yard somewhere, and that's worth 5 environment points, so it's worth keeping them. Gives your Sims a happy environment boost when they're in their yard around where those tombstones are. So they've arrived at the City Hall for the graduation ceremony. Yes, that's all gathered together outside the door so that we can all stand there while we file in one at a time. In the previous episode, during the graduation ceremony, Tracy Byrne turned up and she was pregnant and she walked through that door in the middle of them all. But I don't think she's here this time. It's entirely possible that she's had the baby, because that baby will be a half-sibling of these 15 teens and young adults, because the father of the baby is the same Sim who is the father of all these young Sims. Looks like Jeannie might have shown up too. Elsa, I think her name is. We'll just let them all file in. We'll catch them on the way out when the graduates are doing something with their diplomas. I like it when they toss them in the air. So they're all inside and the ceremony is almost over, and the paparazzi are waiting outside to catch sight of the emerging Sims. I just hope they don't stand in front of them so we miss what the graduates do with their diplomas. I want to get a good shot of that. Here they come. It looks like Lynette. Oh yeah, so the paparazzi did exactly what I didn't want to happen. But she tossed it in the air. It's Jerry with the dress with the circle on it. Oh, and there's Tony, the father of all these kids. He's just turned up. He often does turn up for their graduations. Here comes Felicia. What is she going to do with her diploma? She's just standing there at the moment. Oh, there it is. She tossed it and she got herself away from all the other Sims so we could actually see her doing it. Brian wanted to visit the Arboretum, so I told him to go there and tour the Arboretum. He's just gone inside. This is just to get him some lifetime happiness points. After trying to play him to get those lifetime happiness points and skill points, just so I could move him out with something there, I then decided I just wasn't going to be able to devote the time I needed to actually get all of the imaginary friends to get their skill points and happiness points this way. So in the end I decided to just use a mod for the rest of the imaginary friends and give them just some basic points so that they're not completely blank Sims when they move out to their new homes, because we won't be playing them, they're just going to be townies. Robbie had managed to get very friendly with his genie, but he still couldn't free her, and I finally worked out what the problem was. He already had an opportunity in the home special opportunity slot, so I deleted that opportunity. I don't know what it was, and then he tried to free the genie again, and he got the opportunity to freeze the lamp. Apparently, Robbie and the genie have to join forces to destroy the lamp, and the first step is to freeze the lamp in the refrigerator. So he's got to put the lamp in the fridge and stand in front of the fridge for about half a sim hour. Without having this opportunity, it's impossible to put the lamp into the fridge. So there it is, he's put the lamp into the fridge and now he's just going to stand there. He will of course be supervised by his imaginary friend who just wants to get made real. He's wondering why is Robbie wasting time standing there staring at the fridge when he should be trying to make a potion to set him free. Eventually, time passes and the lamp is frozen. So Robbie takes it out of the fridge and he gets another opportunity where he needs to heat the lamp. So the next thing he's got to do is put the lamp into the oven, and he's got to stand there again for a while until the lamp is sufficiently heated. At least this time we can see the lamp through the oven door. Robbie wonders, is it done yet? He's got to check. Doesn't look like it. Better wait a bit longer. He stands there for quite a while and then he gets another urge to check the oven, and this time the imaginary friend has turned up to check on Robbie. He says he's still busy, pretending to be cooking something in the oven of course. Wonders what it is. You can see it's a lamp, but he thinks there must be something in it that these people must be wanting to eat, because what else would you have something in the oven for? Robbie wouldn't keep checking on it, it might cook faster. Hello, it's done. Now he's got the final opportunity where he's got to take the lamp underground. This means he's got to take it to the mausoleum and spend hours there. So you better make sure that he's eaten and had a good sleep before he leaves for that part of the process. Now that's not Robbie turning up at the mausoleum, it is Zach Paulson. He's one of the Sims that I added to the game. I'm not sure what's happened to him, I haven't been following him, but he's just come there to do some fishing in the graveyard late at night. Robbie is already in that mausoleum. He's taken the lamp underground to try to finally free the genie. That paparazzi seems to know something's up. He was standing in front of the mausoleum. He's just moved around to the side, just keeping himself entertained while he waits for something to happen. Think something's happening right now. Oh look, it's Robbie, and he's all singed. Wonder what happened to him down in that mausoleum. He's going to run home anyway, leave Zach Paulson standing there fishing. Don't think Zach even noticed what was going on in that mausoleum. The paparazzi's heading out of there as well. So Robbie helped into the family car and drove himself home. I hope that upholstery was clean after he got home. Although he looks as though he's been singed, he doesn't have the singed moodlet. What he does have though is mauled by bear moodlet. It seems bears don't like it when others explore their catacombs. The emotional scars, not to mention the huge physical scars, are not easily forgotten. Poor Robbie. Fortunately for Robbie, he's got enough positive things going on in his life that he's kept his green plum bob. But he's gone down to the computer to have a little game, try to settle his nerves somewhat. He's going to play a football game by the look of it. While that noise might be doing great things for Robbie's nerves, it makes me want to shout, "Turn that dreadful noise off!" Fortunately, Robbie wasn't going to be left alone for long to enjoy his game. Jellybean turned up. Robbie ignores Jellybean for a little while, just keeps on playing his game. Next thing, Jerry turns up and she sits there playing a very loud computer game right beside him while Jellybean just sits and waits patiently. Eventually, Robbie stops playing the game because he's aware of Jellybean, and he's thinking he really should turn that imaginary friend real. Because Robbie has got the potion in his pocket, there's no reason for him not to turn Jellybean real. At least make the offer to see if Jellybean might drink the potion. Unfortunately, Jellybean is not yet in the mood for that sort of thing. They need to increase their relationship somewhat. So, Robbie takes the unusual step of deciding to frighten the life out of Jellybean with a ghost story in the hope that that might improve their relationship sufficiently for Jellybean to drink the potion. Eventually, Jerry decides she doesn't want to play that game any longer. Thank goodness, because the noise was driving me insane. I thought she might join the ghost story, but she was just a little bit amused, I think, that there was Robbie telling a ghost story to nothing and no one, because obviously Jerry couldn't see Jellybean sitting on the floor, listening carefully and enjoying being scared out of his wits by Robbie's ghost story. Then Lynette turned up, and we had some more very noisy computer games for a few seconds. Fortunately, Lynette changed her mind and she decided that she'd continue writing her fiction novel instead, which was much better because it was quiet. And the ghost story continued. Eventually, Robbie ran out of ideas, or else he came to the end of the story, and the lights came back on, and Jellybean stood up. And magically, Jellybean was now happy to drink the potion. So, Robbie offered it to him, and Jellybean drank it. And there he is, transforming into a real Sim. Oh, he's got thoughts for Alicia, red hearts and all. Don't think you're going to get that lady, I'm sorry to say, little Jellybean. It looks like Lynette is aware of Jellybean and is saying something about him, transforming. Robbie's got his wish to make Jellybean real. It was worth 1,000 lifetime happiness points for him. And there's Jellybean, all excited because finally he's real. When the transformation was complete, Robbie and Jellybean spent a few moments together just getting to know each other and appreciating the change. Jellybean wasn't left alone for long. Brian came and introduced himself. It's good that the two imaginary friends get to know each other, but it's time for Brian to move out, to make room for more imaginary friends to be made real. So after he's had a nice long chat with Jellybean, Brian's going to head off, and Jellybean will go into create a Sim, and he'll be given a brand new look and a new name. Now Jellybean's gone on to play with the computer, and he is Brian. He's going to call real estate to see if he can find himself. There are plenty of houses available, and he's decided to take the closest one to home, the only home he's known so far. There's an empty 2-bedroom house just across the street, and it's fully furnished, ready for him to move into. Various members of the household are gathered together up on the ground floor. That's Kendall, and here comes Gwen and her imaginary friends sitting. And there goes Brian heading off to his new home just across the street. There's only 3 houses left here now. There's 2 have got Sims in it. Brian's in this first house on this side of the street, and Ursula Goman with her toddlers are in the first house on the other side of the street. Ursula is the witch that fire blasted the proprietor in the last episode. So there it is, Brian's home. Robbie's got himself cleaned up now, which is nice, but he's gained himself another negative moodlet. When he got into the shower, somebody had pranked his shower, so he's got the pranked moodlet now. What tastes worse, the embarrassment or the humiliation from shower dye? Yes, his hair went bright yellow, but he jumped right back in the shower and washed it out, so that was good. And on a positive note, things are looking up between him and Candace. See, they're sitting together now, and he's actually taking some notice of her. They're both couch potatoes, so they're happily sitting on the couch chatting together. I now have hope that it might work out between them. And Jellybean got a makeover and changed his name to Jake. And he's going to try to steal a coin. Will he do it? Yes, he's got himself a lucky coin. Let's hope he doesn't lose it. He's going to do a little bit of fishing in the wishing well. I've given him a few skills and things to get him started, because I don't want to have to play him for ages to get him enough skills to make me feel comfortable moving him out like that. So I'm just going to give you a little look at him, so you'll recognise Jake when you see him around town. And here he is, gaining some fishing skill in the household wishing well. He also has a wish to find some seeds, so I'm going to send him to the greenhouse, and he can find some seeds and things there, and then he can move out. And Gwen just found herself a ghost potioner, so that was well done, Gwen. Wasn't the potion you're looking for, but you found a potion. Oh, it's all happening. Jake just caught himself a tragic clownfish. I can send him off to the greenhouse now he's caught a fish. There are plenty of seeds to find at the greenhouse, and here's Jake arriving. Now you can see what he looks like from a distance. Oh, that's Dave Webb. He is the father of Ursula's toddler. Remember Ursula, the witch, lives across the road from Brian? So that's Dave Webb. He's just arrived at the greenhouse as well. Jake's just got to pick up a couple of seeds and he'll be right. He won't have to do anything else. That tourist from China is often here. I've seen before, and you'll see him again later on, probably in episode 15 now. I'll see if I can get Jake to greet Dave. Be good if I can get Dave in his relationship panel. Problem is, Dave's a celebrity and he may not be very impressed with our Jake. No, it doesn't look like it's going very well. Not to worry, they know each other exists now. I've got Dave Webb in another game. He's in my big game as well. But in the big game, he's married to somebody else. And she is in this save as well, but the game didn't put them together. They've matched him up with Ursula. Maybe Ursula cast a spell on him and he had to fall in love with her. I do not know what happened there. They're just being townies in this game. Well, he's decided to tend one of the humble harvest stands. He's got nothing harvested, so he can't consign anything, and I don't want him to buy anything. So he's just trying to sell what's in the stand. Part of the reason for me wanting to add all of these extra imaginary Sims to this world is my household are consigning their produce to the humble harvest stands, and they should earn a lot of money from that, but it's not selling, and I suspect it's because there's only about 6 Sims in the world to buy it. So my idea is adding lots of imaginary friends made real, because I thought that would be a bit of a fun thing to do. Jake can go home now, but back at home we've got Gwen and Alicia and Lynette all looking for potions to turn their imaginary friends real. While he was playing the computer, Jake's mind was racing. He really wanted to be out in the world on his own, doing his own thing, and he decided he'd better just jump up and do it immediately. So he called for the real estate to find him a new house. And he decided on the house that's right next door to where Brian moved. So here he is. Jake is running along the footpath. He didn't move far from home. You can still see his original home, all colourful there in the background. And there he is in his own little house. He just made room for another imaginary friend to be made real, and that is Brian's house. There's still 2 houses empty in this little street, and I'm sure we'll have them full very quickly. That's Alicia, Gwen and Lynette. Still the same 3, but they're in a different order. Poor Alicia. She worked on her imaginary friend potion, trying to find that potion for longer than anybody, and she got singed dozens of times. And everybody else was coming in and looking for their potions and getting their imaginary friends made real, and Alicia was still plugging away at it. She was obviously being a slow learner. There's quite a few Sims down here working on the garden. It's a time of the day when nobody's at school or work, and everybody's available to either garden or work on their potions. They're the 2 main focuses at this point in the proceedings. Besides, the garden was getting a bit dry looking. Everything's being very wilted. That Sim in the front there with that stake going through his body, that's Wilfred, and he is going to be making his imaginary friend real while he's still a teen. His lifetime wish is Fairy Tale Finder, and I'm thinking of aging him up, because I don't think he'll get that wish. I'm not going to spend time enough with him to go out and adopt a unicorn, so I might just age him up to young adult fairly quickly. The reason I get him to make his imaginary friend real is everything vanished out of his inventory. So I sent another Sim back in time to get everything out of his inventory from an earlier save, because I keep doing a save as. But when that Sim turned up in this household and handed over all his inventory items, the imaginary friend doll wasn't in the mix. So I sent Wilfred back by opening up the earlier save and using that version of Wilfred to make the imaginary friend doll real. And then I saved the imaginary friend to the library and added it to the game, but then it was a teen. We probably won't see them in this episode, and there's a few birthdays that have to happen probably before I age up Wilfred and his imaginary friend anyway. Back to see how the potion making is going. That's Gwen and Lynette and Cuddles, as you can see there. Cuddles, of course, is the imaginary friend belonging to Alicia. It looks like she's been singed and then she got her hair turned bright blue in the shower. So she's ended up with the negative pranked moodlet. What does the pranked moodlet say? It says, what tastes worse, the embarrassment or the humiliation from shower dye? Here she comes. She obviously had another quick shower to get rid of the bright blue hair. They do that second shower autonomously and it happens really fast, and I haven't yet been able to get a video of it happening. But I will show it to you if I ever do manage to get it done. So there, Lynette has now found another potion, but it wasn't the one she needs, so she's got to keep going. We'll leave them there, working hard on their potions. That's Lynette's doll that's just suddenly appeared sitting on the floor. It hasn't been made live yet. I'm sure that will happen shortly. That's Gwen's doll we can see standing behind her there. His name is Bobo, and he's hoping that it won't take much longer before she gets her potion to make him real. I'm hoping she does it quickly too, because I want to get her concentrating on Javon so they can get married, move out and start having grandchildren for Jerry and Tony. And Alicia's got her cuddles standing behind her. Hello, Felicia's just got singed again. This is a very repetitive thing with Alicia. Now she's got to go and have a shower. But we will persevere with her because she does have to make her imaginary friend real. We need all of the extra Sims in this world we can get. The doll sitting on the floor, of course, is Lynette's. It might suddenly pop up at any moment and become live, but if it doesn't, I'll give it a nudge with the NRS mod debug enabler. Oh, Lynette's just made another potion. Looks like a ghost potion. I don't know why she just changed into her graduation outfit. Javon just wandered through, just checked up on Gwen's progress. He's being very patient. He's already made his imaginary friend real ages ago. Lynette just made another potion, but it wasn't the one she needs yet again. But she must be getting closer. And there's another potion for Lynette, a blue one this time. The one she's after is a pale golden brownish colour. Uh-oh, Gwen just got singed. I guess she'd better hop in the shower. I'll keep the three working on their potions until they finally make the potion to make their imaginary friends become real. And look, Lynette has just done it. She's now got the potion to turn her imaginary friend real. Now we've just got to make sure that imaginary friend of hers is alive. It must become live before she can make it real. If it won't come live of its own volition, we'll give it a bit of a nudge with NRS debug enabler mod. We need all of the Sims we can get in this world, and Lynette has just made the potion she needs to make it real, so we have to make it live now. Of course, the other reason for getting them to work on their potions like this is making them all very highly skilled in logic. They've got to be at logic level of 8 before they can make that imaginary friend metamorphism potion. We've suddenly been pulled over here, and that is Lynette's toy, Jelly Bean, spinning into life. Wonder where she is. He would have ended up next to Lynette somewhere. We'll have to go searching. Jelly Bean's an interesting colour. It would have been fun having him running around after her for a while like some of the others. But anyway, we're seeing him at the moment in his original doll form, just after he's come alive. And he and Lynette are spending a bit of time just getting to know each other, because they've got to be pretty good friends. They've got to be very good friends before Jelly Bean will accept the potion from Lynette. Sometimes it can take a long time for an imaginary friend to gain the confidence to accept their owner's potion. Oh, big hug. And they still keep chatting. And I cut minutes out of their conversation, but finally they got to the point where Jelly Bean was quite happy to take the potion from Lynette. I bet that was an imaginary friend that was invisible that just went through that door just then, mysteriously opened and shut, and we didn't see anyone. It was somebody's imaginary friend, not yet made real for sure. Ah, there it is. She's handed her the potion. Let's spin and see what happens. Cut lots out of this process too. Sometimes I think it's never going to happen. There we are. Jelly Bean has now been made real, and we've got a female imaginary friend made real. That's exciting. Jelly Bean became Josie, and she got her makeover. Her traits turned out to be mean-spirited saleswoman, loves the heat, excitable loner, and her lifetime wish is master of mysticism. I decided she could keep the mean-spirited trait because she's not going to be living in with this household, and she might be a bit interesting to have her around town. I took her down here to the party room to give her an interesting background so we can have a look at her wardrobe. I gave her colourful clothes, the sort of clothes that I don't normally give my Sims, although they are clothes that I probably would have worn myself way back when I was in my early 20s. But then that was quite a long time ago, and bright colours were very fashionable then. That definitely looks like something I might have worn to go out in. That's her formal outfit. I was curious to see what her career outfit looked like because I didn't give her one, and that's what the game gave her. Well, she can keep it. I'm not changing it. We may never see her in it, though. That's her sleepwear. Her swimwear. And now we'll put her back into her everyday outfit and she can go and do some work in the garden before we send her across the street to one of those 2 remaining empty houses. The garden looks like it needs a bit of watering. So that's all we're going to see of Josie. I'll put her in her house across the road and get on with the next sim. And here she is standing outside her own little house. She lives next door to Ursula and directly across the street from Brian. And now there's only one empty house left in this street. We're on the cusp of a few major changes, but it's going very close to the end of the video, so I might just finalise it here and I'll give you an idea of what's happening in the next episode. As you can see, Felicia has now taken over Lynette's table and she's starting to work on finding her potion for her imaginary friend. I can tell you that Gwen is about to find the potion to make her imaginary friend real, and we'll open the next episode with her discovering the potion and making her imaginary friend real, which will then leave her available to concentrate on her relationship with Javon, and I expect they'll be getting married shortly. Alicia is still stuck trying to find her potion. I think that Felicia will find hers before Alicia does. Lynette, of course, is now free to find herself a husband, but I haven't moved him in yet. I've made him. His name is Larry, and I'm sure he will be in an episode very soon. This is a sneak peek just for you. Lynette hasn't met him yet. Gwen's just made another potion, but it's not the one she's after. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm trying to liven the town up by adding lots of interesting new characters. And Gwen's just made another potion. It's obviously one she wanted because she got lifetime happiness points for it, but it's not the one we want her to get. I'm pretty sure the next potion she makes will be the one though, but it'll be in the next episode. We won't be just seeing the imaginary friends being made real. At the moment we've only got 3 of them that have been made real, so they haven't livened things up much. However, that's about to change, I'm sure. So thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed and would like to see the shenanigans for the next episode, well then it might be an idea to subscribe so you get notified when I do post the following video. It'll probably be in about a week's time. So thank you for watching, bye bye for now, and happy simming.